We are already in week 9 of the Indy Oval Fix series, and it brings us to the tricky triangle in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. This track is very wide, very fast, and very long 2.5 miles with 3 usable lanes on turn 1 and turn 3, and about 2.5 usable lanes in turn 2, depending on how you attack the entry. The name of the game this week will be finding clean air and prioritizing speed on the exit of each turn. I'd like to apologize as my audio did not record for any of these clips for some reason, so the cars will be muted. Just pay attention to how many revs the cars have, and you can kind of get an idea for where you should be lifting by watching the telemetry. In qualifying, this is a first lap is the fast lap track, so you'll need to get up to speed as quickly as you can on your out lap. That means we're going to be going full beans on the green flag lap as soon as we come around. I've sped up the footage here on my get up to speed lap. You don't need to do anything in particular. I run the bars at 6 in the front and 3 in the rear. You can run more in the rear if you'd like, if you feel like you need the car to rotate more. But I didn't find any advantage to going much higher than 3 or 4. You shouldn't need any qualifying weight jacker just because there's no dirty air, but you might feel the car push up on exit out of turn 1 and out of turn 3. Into turn 1, take a delayed apex to make sure that you hit the yellow line but not too soon. If you enter too shallow, you'll push up worse than I have and hit the wall. This is the long Pong straightaway, and coming down it, you'll stay out on the wall, and you're going to dive into turn 2 as if it were Indianapolis. This corner is exactly the same as Indy, so kiss the yellow line right at the middle, and then go wall to wall. Turn 3, you're going to do the similar line to turn 2, out from the wall, down to the yellow line, and then right back out to the wall. This was the best lap manage in practice, and it's a 41.8. You should see qualifying pole speeds around a 41.6. At the beginning of the race, things will get hectic really quickly. The leader might weave around to try to distribute the draft to their friends or teammates, and you'll have to navigate the field the best you can. Here you can see drivers are 3 wide all through turn 1. Avoid the apron if you can, and just put your foot to the floor and go where they're not. There's a really nasty bump at the bottom of turn 1 on the apron. Don't touch that. You saw the leader do that and crash there. When following 2 cars that are trying to race to the lead, or the position in front of you when that car has clean air, it will be pretty difficult to manage and find clean air and be fast. In front of me are 2 of the fastest drivers on the service, and I'm trying to keep up with them. It's a bit of a guessing game trying to know where they will go in each corner, and you just need to go where they're not. Here you see that just by having clean air on those lead 2 cars, they were able to walk away from me on exit, but I make up all of that on the straightaway. Prioritize lifting on entry, as you see here. I lift aggressively and downshift all the way to 4th gear to try to wrap the yellow line and stick up with the leaders. Turn 2, you can probably be the most aggressive when following in someone's wake, as long as you lift on entry and wrap the yellow line. Turn 3, it's very important to get a good exit. Finding the clean air is very, very important, and it will allow you to make positions up on the straightaway. You don't pass in the corners at Pocono, you pass down the straights. Here you see the green car pinches the white car in front of me, and I get clean air on the top. I make up a lot of ground here, and I'm going to try to make a move into turn 2. They get closer and closer as my exit speed was better, and now I have the draft. I decide to go high to try to build a run, and then dive low. The leader hit the apron, and then hits me in the rear and gives me wheel damage. Even though I have wheel damage, it's not too severe, and this is the appropriate pit in. As soon as you see the access road, start lifting and braking, turn down, and the pit limiter cone starts there at entry. Get down to 55 and you'll be okay. When working through a series of cars in front of you which are not cooperating, it gets a little harder than there just being 2 leaders in front. When there are 3 leaders in front, often you don't have any clean air at all. Early in the run, you can abuse your tires a little bit, but I would caution against it. Again, it's the same guessing game. Go where they're not, lift whenever you can, and make up the time that you've lost by lifting in the corners on the straightaways. You can see I'm totally out of the gas there for the first fifth of the turn for almost a whole second. Here I got very lucky as no one took the high side, and I feel like I'm going to build a big run on the leaders. The car in front of me pushes up, hits the wall, and I have nowhere to go. Anticipate the car in front of you having aero wash and sliding up and getting tight on exit, and you won't have the same problem I do. The tools for this week are going to be a 4 bar in the front and a 5 or 6 bar in the rear. As the race goes on, the track will cool down and get faster and racier. Those are my tips this week at Pocono. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for week 10.